If you look at history, there was never a moment where there was, or era where there was no war. Celebrating His Holiness the birthday is also a reminder for us to practice compassion.
The Dalai Lama has always talked about the Nalanda school.
Yes.
How do you see the role of Bharat in all this?
His Holiness Dalai Lama has always mentioned that Bharat as a teacher and Tibet as a student.
What are the challenges you see in the path of Buddhism in this 21st century?
When we learn about Buddhism, it does not give you anything new, right? It always teaches you your own value, your own capabilities.
Let's talk about Sanatan and Buddhism as well, because both have very deep connection.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama has said before that Sanatan Dharma and Buddhism is basically the two branches of the same tree. Prime Minister Modi ji, what he is doing is long overdue for all the Buddhist followers, because Buddhism is the best gift that Bharat has given to the world.
Namaskar. I'm Nishant Azad, and in this edition of Outright, today we have a very special guest, His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin, Gyana Vajra Rinpoche. He is here as a part of 90th celebration of His Holiness the 40th Dalai Lama. Welcome to Organiser. Excellency, we all know His Holiness Dalai Lama has completed its 90th year, and the whole world is going through the celebration. How do you see this celebration and why it is important for the whole world?
Of course, 90 years of universal compassion. He always taught about universal compassion, universal teaching, universal love. So it's a gift to the world that he has lived for 90 years. And he has also said that he will live for over 130 years. So we are very happy. And significantly for the world is because such a being is among us. So we are very fortunate that we could be in such an era where such a human being was there.
So you talk about the compassion. The whole world is going through conflicts. The old world order is changing. So how do you see this year, significance of this year of Dalai Lama's birthday?
If you look at history, there was never a moment where there was, or era where there was no war. So the war has been going on for this part or that part. I don't see any big difference there. But of course, we need in this world, we need such a person to teach us, to show us the path to the righteousness. So. That's why I think celebrating His Holiness the birthday is also a reminder for us to practice compassion and to practice.
The Dalai Lama has always talked about the Nalanda school.
Yes.
And you also held the dharmic tradition of Dharma in high reverence. How do you see the role of Bharat in all this?
Bharat is a very important, His Holiness Dalai Lama has always mentioned that Bharat as a teacher and Tibet as a student. So of course Buddha was enlightened in India. So it plays a one of the most important role of Bharat is for Buddhism. So it's very important.
You belong to the Sakya tradition. To our viewers, please enlighten us what exactly is this tradition and how it is.
Sakya tradition has been now going on for around 1,000 years. When how do you say? Of course, we have quite a few different traditions within Tibetan Buddhism, and basically they are the same. The only one of the main difference would be the lineages where it's coming from. It's also important to maybe for the people to understand that all the Buddhist traditions which is in Tibet, they are all coming from different masters from Nalanda and Vikramasila universities. So basically different eras, different timing and different followers. So we have because of different timing and different followers. So that's why we have different traditions. There is of course main reason. And some minor difference also is that Some traditions follow more on philosophy, some more on intellectual. And Sakya is one where we practice both philosophy and intellectual philosophies, teachings.
Okay.
That's one of the things.
So having taught in America, Europe, Asia, Australia, how do you deliver the message of Dhamma without compromising its essence?
I think again here, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, whenever he talked to the world or when he give his teaching, he's not really talking only Buddhist. Right? He's talking about universal compassion, universal love, universal human values. So I think that is a great way of teaching without losing any Buddhist ethics, and also, but at the same time he's talking to the whole world. He's not just talking for one person or this individual or that group or this country. So in that way, whenever he teaches, or even when we teach, we try to practice is through universal love. We always talk about universal love, and because when we talk about universal love and universal compassion, there is no religion, there is no country, there is no boundaries basically, because this is beyond all these differences. So I think that way we can keep the Buddhist values, but without losing Buddhist value, we can teach to the world.
Whatever we do, we face challenges.
Yes.
What are the challenges you see in the path of Buddhism in this 21st century in Europe, and what are the challenges for Buddhism?
Of course, challenges and opportunities are both the same. The way Buddhism works, as far as I understand, is that Buddhism, when we learn about Buddhism, it does not give you anything new, right? It always teaches you your own value, your own capabilities. And also one of the most important things which changes in us by practicing Buddhism is your point of view, because you don't have to change outside to change your inner self. By changing your point of view, you are basically changing everything. Because, for example, a master or even in a normal situation, a business person, whenever he sees some kind of a problem, that person sees opportunity, right? When the normal other families or whatever, they will see some maybe from a very difficult terms, but from a business person, this is an opportunity. He will do something to make the most out of this. So similarly, our masters, when they see always the positive and the goodness in humans. There's not a bad person who should not be practicing this Buddhist Dharma or loving kindness. Everybody can practice. So there is no this person or that person. When you change that positiveness, then you brings the happiness. That's the true happiness, inner happiness. We are not just talking about simple things here and there, but we are talking about the true happiness, the inner happiness. It comes out. So that's where you feel the peace, the most important part. By practicing that, you experience the peace.
So you talked about the positiveness, the goodness, the inner happiness.
Yes.
When we talk about Buddhism, and how can an individual bring Dhamma to its life?
I think by living or by thinking simple things. Because when the problems we face are in the future. Kal kya hoga, tomorrow what will happen, or this next year, So when we bring our mind to present, most of the problems are already solved. Right?
क्योंकि ये जो अभी वक्त चल रहा है, जिस तरीके की जीवन शैली चल रही है, उसमें ज़्यादातर लोग किसी ना किसी वजह से बहुत परेशान रहते हैं और उनको जीवन में पीस चाहिए होता है. That's why I asked this.
Which is in the future. All the problems are in the future. Not past is gone. Nobody's worried about the past, but always worried about the future. By bringing your mind to your present, because might happen, ये कुछ होगा नहीं होगा, these are all problems that we bring future से We bring it to present, and then we ruin our present by bringing all this trouble from the future to the present. So I think by living simplicities, thinking, because even when we work hard, we may also need this. ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए. कुछ हो सकते हैं. You never throw things. All the boxes when we buy at home, we have so many boxes at home because thinking कभी कल हो सकता है हमें, we may use it. So I mean that way, if we think simply. And by simplicity, I think you solve a lot of problems. Then you can bring peace, basically. We are not in peace because we are always running after the future. And future, kal, there is another kal. Kal, there is another kal. Tomorrow, there is another tomorrow. So there is we can never reach the future. The future is always the future. So by bringing your mind to your present, then you are calm. Your mind is calm. Your mind is satisfied. Because what we are trying to do is something impossible. We cannot bring future to the present, right? So that way, we are never satisfied. We are never calm. Our mind is like boiling water. Like it's always kuch na kuch hota rehta hai. But by bringing your mind to the present, then things become calm. Like as soon as you go a little deeper into the ocean, ocean is very calm. But when you look at on top of the ocean, the waves, they're always there. You never see an ocean like a lake or a calm ocean. You always see waves all the time. But as you go a little bit down, if you think a little bit, like thoda sa, if you do a little bit think simplicity, all the problems will be solved.
My next question is connected to this only because in this world of social media, when we scroll down the Instagram or Twitter or some, we find so many motivational speakers who are giving you gyan ki you need to live your life like this. So what should be the exact line to have a very good, healthy life and peaceful life?
I mean, I think I would say...
Because people are bombarded with so much of information through...
Too much information is also not good.
So in your opinion, what should be the real thing?
I think to keep a balance, to have a good balance in your life. And even I would say, I also tell my friends and family that to have a good balance is very important. Because too much of anything in this life is not good. Even too much of love is not good. Too much of even your practice of Buddhism, too much of practicing is too much. Because then you have to keep balance with your own understanding, with your own how much you can do, right? You can't eat like a champion. Like if you have a good big breakfast, वो खा रहा है तो मैं भी खाऊंगा. You cannot do that. Right? You have to eat according to your own digestive system. You cannot copy everything. So by simplicity, I think there's also another way. By simplicity and keep a good balance. Anything, whether you are work life, family life, a fun life, whatever you're doing, to have a good balance, I think that way again solves a lot of our problems. Because we do everything over, then we complain, hey, I'm becoming fat, because we eat too much. Not because somebody is feeding you, कोई मुंह में नहीं डाल रहा है, but we are eating ourselves. But then we complain कर रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. But because we eat too much, more than we need. That's the only reason why we are becoming fat. Simplicity, by keeping a good balance, then it solves naturally, normally.
You said that too much is not good in any form.
Any form.
Similarly, too much is not good in Buddhism also.
Any practice.
In spirituality. क्योंकि देयर इज नो लिमिट. हम कहते हैं कि भगवान से जुड़ने का या गुरु से जुड़ने का कोई सीमा नहीं होता. वी टॉक अबाउट दैट लिमिट ना, कि देयर इज नो लिमिट टू कनेक्ट विथ योर गॉड, टू कनेक्ट विथ योर गुरु. तो बुद्धिज्म में जो आपने कही, यू सेड ना कि टू मच स्पिरिचुअलिटी और टू मच इनटू बुद्धिज्म इज आल्सो नॉट गुड. वो क्या लिमिट है?
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is one of the things happened to me. Somebody asked me, Guruji, please, pray for me because I'm having difficulty, I'm having a difficulty practicing. And I asked him, what are the problems he is facing? And that person said, I fall asleep during my practice. And I asked him, how much do you practice? He said, 24 hours. I said, you cannot practice 24 hours. We are human. We need to eat. We need to sleep. We need to have the naturally. You cannot like do 24 hours, right? So I mean that way also mentally, and physically, you need a good balance. कोई भी, I mean, then that way you cannot last. You cannot practice for long. Yeah. You can practice 24 hours if you want to live only for a week or so, right? But if you want to live a long life, you need to have a good balance. See, sleep timing, eating timing, drinking timing, walking, exercising. All this is part of being. Actually, this is also a part of the Buddhism. Buddhism is not only you're sitting on the cave and that is not the only the Buddhist point. Buddhism is actually basically a mind training. All of Buddhist practice is basically a mind training. But of course there are different techniques you can use. Sometimes you are sitting in a cave. Sometimes you are walking. Sometimes you are doing rituals. Sometimes you are doing meditation. So all kinds of things are there. It's not that once you practice, jab tak nahi hoga, then you have to sit like that. It's not that way.
I want to go back to that question again, that world is going through the conflicts. My concern is how Buddhism is going to show a path to the world to walk towards peace.
By practice, because why are this war? I mean, this is also a very important question. Because there was never a period there was no war. There was always war. Somewhere, always war.
Because in Buddhism, we mainly talk about peace, calm, spirituality,
compassion,
karuna.
The best antidote to all your negative emotions and all that. Because compassion is such a powerful tool that we can use. It overcomes all other negative emotions, anger, desire, ignorance, everything is overcome by compassion. That's why compassion is one of the key things in a Buddhist practice. Without compassion, there is no Buddhism. Without compassion, even Buddhism began because of compassion. And we enter into the Buddhist path because of compassion. While practicing Buddhism, that is the main practice is compassion. Even when you are enlightened, the main practice is compassion. So compassion in the beginning, compassion is the main, and then compassion at the end also. Because compassion throughout. Without compassion, there is no Buddhist practice. So it's very important.
Your Excellence, let's talk about Sanatan and Buddhism as well, because both have very deep connection, deep spiritual connection, deep traditional connection, and deep philosophical connection, deep cultural connection. So in this context, how do you view this connection between Sanatan as well as Buddhism?
His Holiness the Dalai Lama has said before that Sanatan Dharma and Buddhism is basically the two branches of the same tree. Because basically the same practice, Karuna, Maitreya, harmony, this is basically the same thing. So I do not see a big difference there.
So you said that Sanatan and Buddhism are the same branches of two different branches of same tree.
Yes.
But there are people who want to keep it separate. That Buddhism is different.
I
Sanatan
cannot tell you what others are doing, but I can only tell you how I see it, how I am practicing. Because if you look at the main ingredients of the two, then you can tell you can judge yourself what is the difference, because means basically Karuna, Maitreya, all the same thing. So if the ingredient is same, then the product will be the same, right? So I do not see a big difference.
So if we talk about PM Modi, because he's a big you can say that follower of kind of Buddhism. And if we go through his some of his recent speeches, the prominent one, even post Operation Sindoor, he also talked about this Buddhism thing. और जब भी हम उनको देखते हैं तो वो बुद्ध की बात करते हैं, वो बुद्धिज्म की बात करते हैं, करुणा की बात करते हैं, और जब करुणा की बात करते हैं तो he always used to quote thing related to Buddhism. तो वो भी बुद्धिज्म को एक अलग स्तर पर ले जाने की बात करते रहते हैं कि जो वर्ल्ड है उसको बुद्धिज्म फॉलो करना चाहिए, उसको सनातन फॉलो करना चाहिए. हाउ डू यू सी PM Modi while he talk about Buddhism and all? especially at the global
I
level?
think Prime Minister Modi ji, what he is doing is a long overdue for all the Buddhist followers, because Buddhism is the best gift that Bharat has given to the world, because Buddhism was born in India. Buddhism was mainly started from India and then flourished all over the world. So he's how do you say, emphasizing on Buddhism, because if you all India's neighbors there are so many Buddhist countries, and they are all looking, when it comes to Buddhists, they are all looking into Bharat in India. So that's very important. Also, from the how do you say, because under his guidance, the relics has been now to Thailand, Taiwan, to Vietnam. So these are very important steps that he is following. And also he has been to Bodh Gaya. I don't think many prime ministers has ever been to Bodh Gaya. So these are very significant for a Buddhist point of view, and also for the world.
Yeah, and even too many development work is also going on in the recent past.
Yes.
And especially the Buddha circuit has been going to be created and all.
Yes, I'm a very, how do you say, very happy that Modi ji is doing all this. We are very happy for this.
So viewers, you have seen that His Holiness Rinpoche ji has said कि जीवन में कुछ भी ज़्यादा नहीं, don't run behind anything, excess of everything is bad, जो हम हमेशा से सुनते रहे हैं कि too much is very bad. एक उसको पीछे मत भागिए, live in present, वर्तमान में जिए, और जो बुद्धिज़्म की जो मेन जो कह सकते हैं कोर है कंपैशन को आप फॉलो कीजिए, करुणा को फॉलो कीजिए, तो you will find peace in yourself, and you will find peace around you also. Thank you for talking to Organiser.
Thank you.